Just when you think it can't get any worse, shocking new details have come to light about the largest precious metals scam this decade. We're going to discuss what happened in this video as we explore. Whenever you buy precious metals, you have to put trust in the companies you deal with, especially if they are online or in a different location, and even more so if you're vaulting your precious metals. What has happened has rocked the precious metals industry, especially those gold IRA ads that we hear about all the time in the news or on programs and advertisements on radio, online, and in print and television. One such group, company, is the Oxford Gold Group, and I did a video about what happened when the news broke about them scamming folks. And this has rocked the precious metals industry for sure. And that means that we have to do our due diligence. We're finding out some new details that are very, very disturbing about what's going on here. As reported by KABC out of Los Angeles, countless people's retirement dreams were destroyed by a Beverly Hills company promising to invest their savings in gold for attractive returns. Now think about that for a minute, attractive returns. And my feeling is that gold and silver should not be thought about for attractive returns. It's about wealth preservation, and that's it. And I think to some degree, with gold going up as much as it has over the past 6 months, it's reaching all-time highs in nominal dollars. Many people are going to get the wrong idea about precious metals, and they're going to think that's going to continue to happen. Many people are saying silver is next, but that's another topic. Eyewitness News out of Los Angeles started investigating complaints about Oxford Gold Group back in July. People transferred 5 or 6 figure amounts to a company that has simply vanished, as I previously had reported. Of all the gold companies that we could have invested in, we invested in the one that was a scam, said Gigi Van Diepen about Oxford Gold Group. Now, I think it's great that she said that because she's recognizing that most of these companies are legitimate, and I think they are, for sure. But it's making customers very nervous, that's for sure, because they're going to want to know for sure that their precious metals are there. And there are ways to make that happen, but it's going to take some work on the custodians of the metals and the companies themselves to give customers ease of mind that the precious metals are actually there. And Diepen said that she and her husband are victims of Oxford Gold Group, adding the company was still accepting clients even after they closed. My husband wired money to them May 1st of this year, Diepen said, and they went out of business in April of this year. So they took our money even though they had closed their doors in Beverly Hills. And the thing is, they had no idea because their company website was up as late as July. So they hired an attorney. After they suspended, meaning they weren't even supposed to be doing business, they went to Gigi's family, and in May, that is something else. That takes it to a scam to the next level for sure, even after they had shut their doors. Wow. And the attorney Michael Aguirre said that they have got them to invest in May of this year after they had closed their doors. Oxford Gold claimed it would invest people's money, often their retirement funds, to precious metals. They promised gold and silver would be placed in a depository for its clients. But there's no indication that ever happened. All of these victims that they have spoken to are convinced now that their money is gone. Photos of the company office in Wilshire Boulevard show the business closed at the time and appeared to be empty. On Oxford Gold's website before it was shut down in July, you could see several bad reviews. In fact, many of them. Most of them within the last few months. Many of the posts contain phrases like "stole my money," "stolen funds," and "Oxford Gold is a scam." After the story broke, people started coming forward more and more. So, and I'm going to stop right there because I think at the beginning when the company opened, they probably were legitimate. Everything was fine. More likely, it's probably started out sort of as a Ponzi type situation, pyramid scheme. And, they'll talk about, well, this area is not really as regulated as much, but we'll get into that in a moment. Now, Greer now represents clients from all over the country who say they lost millions of dollars. And this was my retirement, according to one Florida resident, Chris Page. It's 25 years dedicated to one company, a little over $182,000. Now, some may say, well, that's not really wise to put all of their trust in one company. And he's right. They are right. They would be right for that criticism. That is putting a lot of trust. I would never do that. But the thing is understanding the risk to keep your metals safe and your retirement safe. You have to have multiple levels of security online, and as well as using common sense, but also physically as well. But think about it, a little over $182,000, boom, puff, gone. Like a fart in the wind, as they say. I moved $32,000, according to Texas resident Kenneth Furlow. And I know that's not a lot, but it's a lot to me. And then another resident from New Jersey said they lost over $100,000. And here's one, a kicker, a 401k from Rhode Island resident Christopher Owatkin took $225,000 out of the 401k. Massive amounts of money gone. All these people share similar stories. They say when they noticed something wasn't right, the people at Oxford Gold started making up excuses. She kept saying, we're going down a list, Casella said. They're going to straighten it out, it's all good. Everything's going to be okay. And then eventually, after all this time, just up until last week or 2 weeks ago, and this is really gets how bad it can get. There's one victim who was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Wisconsin resident Jackie Nelson. She sent money to invest in gold because her dream was it would grow to leave an inheritance for her children. I don't know how long I'm going to live. I feel so betrayed because he knew my story, the person did, who she dealt with at Oxford Gold Group, and still stole from me. I just cannot understand how somebody is that low. I think you were talking about some people there, many people at Oxford Gold, who got so bad, and they got so greedy that essentially that overtook them, and they essentially are sociopaths, people that work in this and for that company, and that's really a shame. It's crazy. Deborah Matthews said her father sent $100,000 even after his health declined and couldn't make decisions. Someone from Oxford Gold kept calling him and continued to call my dad to try to sell him more gold. And I don't understand why people prey on elder people. It makes my heart hurt. It sure does. Now, there's another company linked to Oxford Gold Group. On the Secretary of State's website, it shows the California Franchise Tax Board suspended the company on April the 2nd. What we've most concerned about is the government has not stepped in to take control of the computers, the financial records, the emails, all the rest of it that are essential to identifying where the money went. And in doing so, identifying who else may have liability, they can pay the folks back. Likely that stuff is all long gone by now. If they've skedaddled out of there in April, they've taken all their records with them. And the more time that has gone by, there's less likelihood that they can retrieve and recover that information. This really is, I think, in a sense, part of the government and authorities on them for not taking control of this. This has been going on long enough, since July at least, and even beforehand, where they should have started an investigation. Customers said they were directed to set up accounts with a company called Equity Trust. They started receiving letters from Equity Trust, which was a custodian, and they said that they were no longer working with Oxford Gold Group, as I previously recorded as well. Everybody's money was transferred to them, and they gave it to Oxford. The monies were not being deposited, or the gold was not being purchased. We believe that they knew a lot earlier than February of this year. Equity Trust wouldn't comment specifically about Oxford Gold, sending a statement which says, in part, as a custodian, our function is to take direction from clients who wish to invest using their accounts in Equity Trust and custody those assets purchased by the clients. Clients chose third parties with which to invest and work directly with that third party to fulfill those purchases and sales. Equity Trust is committed to the highest standard of client service and safekeeping to the client's assets. But they should have kind of seen the writing on the wall too. In some ways, I kind of hold them partially liable too, because they took the money or what have you. I don't know. It sounds like they're saying that the money went to equity first, and maybe part of them taking responsibility is to stop working with Oxford Gold. But Aguirre filed a class action lawsuit last week. So that's a very positive move and direction, as mentioned by some of you in the comments in my previous video about this. So a class action lawsuit has been filed and named several people from Oxford Gold Group, including Chief Executive Pedram Granfar and Chief Financial Officer Jonathan Alder. Now, ABC7 tried to find these people named in a lawsuit against Oxford Gold. One of them is supposedly living in a Studio City home. And when they went to the home to try to talk to somebody, nobody answered the door. No surprise there. Home listed for Granfar appears to be undergoing remodeling, and nobody was there. Wow, amazing that they can take their homes and do a remodel, spend all that money with their clients' money like that. Crazy. I think those houses should be seized until they cooperate. So far, no one is named in the lawsuit has responded to phone calls and emails. Now the FBI is finally involved. A number of clients received notices that said the purpose of this initial letter is to notify you that this case is currently under investigation. Good news. It's promising news to the folks who feel they've lost their life savings and now hope they can get their money back. I thought I was being prudent with what I was doing, and I was doing it to diversify my portfolio and for retirement purposes, according to Carrie Arnold from Nevada. And she got played. My husband was semi-retired, Arnold explained. He went back to work because that was half of his retirement, and now he's gone back to hard labor as a 54-year-old gentleman. It's really a shame and sad that they would do this, and appalling. It is an appalling situation. So my hope that justice will be done. Just like with the case with the that I talked about with J.P. Morgan and the precious metals manipulation, I hope to be able to track the developments along with this case too, and would love to see sweet justice done and people get their money back. Likely that money is gone, already spent, but these people need to pay restitution for it some way or another, and I think jail time should be involved in it as well. What a massive scam. What a shame. So let me know what your thoughts are about this video and about what's going on with Oxford Gold Group with this latest development. I hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.